Super Bowl champs. Tom Brady, you are the man. You are the GOAT. The greatest of all time.
Super Bowl number 7 for Tom Brady. The Tom Brady effect in full effect this week here at the breakfast table. We got 2 Buccaneers, swagged out guys up in front. Sean O'Hara wearing blue. What's going on?
Hi, how are we doing?
How are you?
Phenomenal.
Here
with you guys.
Every open to this show.
Huge breakfast table.
Yeah. Every open to the show has been really awkward with you.
No, really, I feel like you obligatory have to get me to say a dad joke.
I'm just like to like leave it and let you just talk. You know, it's the off season now. We can sort of relax.
Okay.
Take it away.
We can just chill out.
To that note, I look something up. Peter, what do you got?
I was going to ask Sean, because Kyle and I both picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. We're wearing Buck stuff out of almost petance. Like, hey, but
respect.
Who'd you pick for the Super Bowl beforehand? Did you make a pick officially?
I made a couple of picks. I picked the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Majority, you know, because I felt like Mahomes was going to pull a rabbit out of a hat at some point in the game. But, man, Brady, I mean, like, you can't make this stuff up, right? I mean, the first ever Super Bowl, they host it in Tampa, and then for Brady to just, I mean, we should have all seen it coming, right? We should have known it.
Probably
like, Brady is just, he's the golden child.
That's right.
I know LeBron thinks he's the chosen one, but maybe it's really Brady.
On that note, let's hit those red blocks.
That's well done, Sean.
Count those rings here. We all know Super Bowl 55 was Tom Brady's 7th, but it was also Rob Gronkowski's 4th. And I want to show you guys this because, you know, I love Gronk. It was on our bingo board. I was pumping him up all up until this game, and NFL Films caught this great moment of chemistry between the two after the game.
Way to go, buddy. This is what we do. This is what we do. You're 2 tutties. 2 tutties. I was saving them for the Super Bowl. You did it all! You balled out, baby. You balled out. Way to go. You let us live, dog. Way to go. Yes. So proud of you.
Business as usual, 2 tutties. He said he saved them for the Super Bowl. A lot of talk about how Gronk wasn't a factor all season long. Not true, especially in the postseason. Well, Sunday night added to all the Super Bowl records that Tom already holds. He's really only competing against himself at this point. So I ask you, gents, is Super Bowl 55 the most significant, grandest, biggest win in Tom Brady's storied career?
I'm just going to say this. They're definitely doing karate in the garage right now, those two, Gronk and Brady. You know, look, it's obviously the latest one, and it's 7, and it's, you know, we're going to pile on top of this is the best win, and it's unbelievable. But to me, the best Brady Super Bowl performance was Super Bowl 51. And there's a lot of reasons for it. Number one, the fact that they were down 28-3, and he found a way to will them back to victory. Throwing 62 passes, which is still a Super Bowl record. I mean, he holds all kinds of Super Bowl records, so why not that one too? But when you look at who he did it with, that to me is phenomenal. How about the fact that that was his 5th Super Bowl win? So now I put him above Montana and above Bradshaw, who had 4. It made him put him into a totally different stratosphere. Look at the motley crew. I call this the mashed potatoes right here. That Tom Brady rallied back in to take this team into overtime. James White, your running back, was your leading receiver. Edelman, Amendola. Yeah, Malcolm Mitchell, Bennett. Gronk didn't play in this game. And then Chris Hogan, the Wyckoff, New Jersey native, lacrosse guy, as we all know. So you look at that and you say, wow, you were down 20-3. The probability of them winning that Super Bowl was 99. You guys all covered that ad nauseum. But the fact that he was able to do that and basically put that team on his back, that to me was the biggest moment. And like I said, it gave him 5. Like that to me started that whole debate, is he the best ever? And
you're right.
That was it.
You could actually argue that his best performance was the Eagles Super Bowl when he threw for about 6,000 yards in a loss, but was throwing the ball all over the yard and they couldn't stop him, and it was whoever had the ball until Brandon Graham knocked it loose. But I think Sunday, and maybe I'm jerry-riggering the question here, was probably the most satisfying for Brady. And I think if you were to ask him which one of all of them, he would say the next one, and that's fine. But to do it without Belichick on his own terms with a coach that is warm and cuddly and says,
it was more fun.
Take a Veterans Day off. And you want Gronk? We'll go get him. Let's make it happen. You want Antonio Brown? I know it's not exactly everyone's favorite player in the league. You want him? We'll get him. You want Leonard Fournette? Let's get him. Brady did it on his terms. To quote the great Frank Sinatra, this was my way. My way straight up through the choosing Tampa Bay when everyone else rolled their eyes to all the stuff early in the season when they were losing games badly to the Saints and to the Bears and to the Rams on Monday Night Football, to then find a way to figure it all out and prove all the doubters wrong and to do it without Belichick. I know that you might say, that's being overrated. It's insulting to Belichick and what they built. I'm not insulting any of the first 6 rings. This one is about Brady. It's not about the system. It's not about the Patriots. It's not about Kraft. It's not about the defense. It's about Brady doing it with his guys on his terms and on his home field. I will look back on this one and I would think that Tom Brady, to a man, would never say it out loud, but in his heart feels really good that he got this one and it was about him, not about everything else.
And the dominance of it, right? Completely one-sided up against
first blowout win.
The league's LeBron that's supposed to test him for his most dominant win. What do you think?
I think when he was 24, he had a very good year. I'll continue the Sinatra. Do you guys remember how good the 01 St. Louis Rams were? I think this goes all the way back to the beginning with the Rams as a 2-touchdown favorite against this skinny little Drew Henson backup in the boxer shorts who comes off the bench. There's no way they're going to win this game. No one knows who he is. No one cares about Belichick. No one cares. And they win. They beat the greatest show on turf. This was an incredible thing. I mean, yes, Gronkowski and Amendola, guys he had chemistry with and years with. You know, he's throwing passes to Jermaine Wiggins and J.R. Redmond and anybody they would put out there. Antoine Smith.
Pat, his first Super Bowl.
That's the shot. No one thought this was supposed to be the worst Super Bowl ever played.
I think 17 points was what they were saying. Was
couple touchdowns. Yeah. This is the post 9/11 Super Bowl. There was all kinds of things that went on that season, and he won it. I still think this is the greatest. When it started the empire, it's the origin story. And sure enough, in a stroke of incredible television programming, this past Sunday, Brady sat down with Kurt before the game. Of course, they taped it during the week and just reminisced on what I think is still Brady's greatest Super Bowl win.
So it's 2002, Super Bowl 36. Game is tied, less than a minute and a half on the clock. I've got a front row seat to the legend of Tom Brady beginning.
Fires right, touchdown, David Pep!
Man, we were going up against you guys, one of the most explosive teams in the league. You won 2 MVPs right in that time, and we're playing incredible football. You know, in the end, I think it came down to the team that had the ball last, and, you know, we made some plays there. Jermaine Wiggins caught a ball to set up in field position.
Brady dumps it to Wiggins.
Adam banged it right through the middle upright.
The hit single that launched the whole career. I mean, that Rams team had destroyed Brett Favre by 4 touchdowns in the playoffs. They had beaten the Andy Reid Eagles in the title game. They were the empire. They were going to run the game. And then Tom Brady came in and beat him. I still think it put him on the map. I still think his most improbable and his greatest win.
His greatest win. We'd love to hear from Twitter at GMFB. There's a whole discussion to be had here, Schrags, about no matter what Mahomes does in his career going forward, Tom's always going to say he had this win, and that'll mean something, and that adds to the greatness of his 7th ring. He has more championship wins than any franchise in the NFL, which is just absurd in history.
You know, Tony Romo was doing a little gymnastics in the second half trying to keep this game interesting, and he said something that I thought was really compelling in case to that point. He said, if Brady had 6 and Mahomes had 2 with a win over Brady, now the gap's a little closer, but 7-1 with the tiebreaker going to Brady.
Yep.
It's probably never going to be an argument. Brady probably is always going to have.
Unless they play next year. You know,
True.
then maybe he can undo the